I'm going to go through how to censor videos in Premiere Pro. So I'm going to start a new project. As I said in a previous video, what I would recommend is having a project per task. So a project for censoring, looping, bleeping and so on. What words do we bleep? Pretty much all words that you can think of that are curses. It's also good to think about how some words are more offensive in other countries. I'm going to drag this clip in and drop. If you ever have doubts over whether a word needs to be censored or not, you can just ask an editor. I'm going to double click to the left of it and the audio just to expand it out. What's really important about censoring a clip is you need to zoom way in because you need to see each word individually. So I'm going to drag the end of this inwards so I'm really far zoomed in. You can see each individual word now in terms of the waveforms, and that's what we need. So now we need to just play the video and find a curse. Here he says shit, so it starts just here and then he goes into another word. The main thing with censoring is that you don't want to censor too much, but you also don't want to censor too little. You've heard in the past, I'm sure, bad censoring where someone says, say the F word, and you can hear the F and the K afterwards, so you know exactly what they've just said. Obviously the point of censoring is not to hide what the person is saying. You usually know what word they're saying anyway, but it's not good to have parts of the word still included. Equally, and it's arguably worse to censor some words around it that don't need to be censored. So that's quite important as well. And it can be hard to distinguish what someone is saying, but so I'm trying to censor basically this section here. This is the word. So I'm going to hit C and I'm going to cut there and I'm going to cut afterwards. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to delete this piece of audio and I'm going to listen back to see if it's completely gone and if I can't hear any of it. So right click, unlink, and I'm going to delete the audio and now I'm going to listen back. So I'm happy with that. The word is completely gone, but you can still hear the words before and afterwards. What I want to do now is include a censor beep. So I'm going to find my censor beep sound effect. I'll actually link a censor bleep in the description if you want to use that one. So I'm going to drag this clip on. Now I need to make sure I don't put it here on top of the audio, because if I do that, it's going to delete the audio underneath it. So I'm going to drag it to the layer underneath like that and drop it. I'm going to expand this here just so I can see it better. And I know that I only need this small section of it. So I'm going to hit C, cut, cut, and then I'm going to hit V and select and delete those other parts. I can move this up now into that space. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's a bit neater. So I'm going to listen back and I'm going to see how it sounds. One thing that's good to think about is that you don't want this bleep to be way louder than the audio around it. That can be really annoying as a viewer, a listener. So make sure that that bleep isn't particularly loud. If it is, you can decrease the volume by putting your mouse on the line here and pulling it downwards, and that decreases, or you can increase the volume as well if you want. In this case, it sounds fine, so I'm going to leave it. I would then watch all of this video and censor every curse that he does. It can be quite time consuming, but it's also good to get someone to watch it back after you've done this, because sometimes you can just miss one. Once you've gone through and censored all your curses, you can export it like normal. So file, export media, make sure you have H.264 match source and high bitrate as gone through in previous videos, and change your output name to the Wufu code and then just click export. And that's it.